Hello, hello, hello. This is Gresh from the I Am CEO podcast. I have a very, very special guest on the show today. I have Marissa Eyon of Fast Signs of Springfield. Marissa, it's awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Gresh. I'm glad to be here.
Definitely super excited to have you on as well. And before we jumped into the interview, I want to read a little bit more about Marissa so you can hear about her and her team and all the awesome things that they're doing. And Marissa is in her third year of being an entrepreneur as a CEO of Fast Signs of Springfield. Her passion for people really helps her and her team provide impactful communication solutions. With Marissa's Civil Navy experience, she ensures her products are high quality and can easily meet any requirements or regulations your complex project might require. Marissa isn't helping her team deliver awesome signs. She spends many free moments with her husband of 20 years and her three children. Marissa, are you ready to speak to the IMCO community?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's do it then. So to kind of kick everything off, I wanted to hear a little bit more on how you got started, what I like to call your CEO story.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, you did a great job of reading my background, but started on the West Coast. I feel like that's a big deal, living out here.
Yes.
And I just had such a fantastic career started as an engineer and then a project manager and manager, ended up as a director here at the Navy Yard in DC. So through this process, I just became so hungry to just learn more. So I went and got my MBA while working full time. I feel like that's another, I'm a crazy kind of person. And yeah, UVA was such a great program. And through that, my entrepreneurial spirit was just awoken. And I said, I've got to try this. So as long as the company was really helping people and dynamic, then that would be a business I would look at seriously. And this one became available, and I couldn't believe how perfect of a fit it was. So I bought this business in the summer of 2018.
Nice. Well, I absolutely love that. And I think is it the Wuhas or the Wahoos for UVA?
Wahoo!
Wahoos.
Wahoo!
There we go. I do. I was somewhat close, but I
I know
love how
some cowboy, sorry.
yeah, there we go. There will be no jokes like that anytime soon.
That's edited. I got it.
But no, I appreciate, all the experience and everything that you've been able to kind of put into the business. And I know, from us connecting, obviously that, provide really great experience and really great, help to the clients that, come into the doors. And I love how it kind of sounds like the experience that you have from the engineering to the MBA and everything in between and all around has helped you to kind of be able to lay that foundation and make an impact in the area.
Yeah, I can't even, I have nothing but gratitude for all the experience that you have to use every skill as a CEO. And so you just need as many tools in your tool bag. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. We find out as, being entrepreneurial and in leadership, often you have to find, unique tools in your tool belt to be able to solve a lot of the solutions. So that varied background sometimes provide an experience to do that. And so speaking of being able to provide solutions, I wanted to drill down a little bit more into how you work with your clients and how you provide the products and service for them. Could you take us through that?
Yeah, all of us here are visual communication experts, and our whole mission in life is just get your message out. We know that you're working so hard, you have all of your own things to worry about, but let us, with the designing in-house, we suggest the right products for you. We tailor to different markets in particular, and we really just tailor solutions from everything from the manufacture, the installation, from your simple yard sign to, call me now, to vehicle graphics. And then we even do big building electrical projects with the big permanent signs for the brick and mortars who are making it through. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, kind of like the full service of all those things. But I think, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, that impactful communication solutions, I think a lot of times when we don't look at signs, we don't look at those things as being able to kind of communicate who you are and what it is that you do. So I love that you're able to kind of, for lack of a better term, sounds like bridge that gap between the signs and and what the company should be and hoping to communicate.
Exactly. And I think, Gresham, you do such a great job. I mean, you've got your awesome photo behind you, and you've got the decal on your microphone. Like, it's so important that those subtle little things just keep your message, keep on brand, keep who you are, but it's at the right place at the right time. And you're not just throwing money away with, a vehicle graphic would not fit you at all. So, exactly.
Yeah, Absolutely. It's just as important as being, strategic about what it is that you're doing. So I love that you help kind of translate that and help people to kind of make that come to fruition. And so, would you consider that to be what I like to call your secret sauce, the thing you feel kind of sets either you personally or the organization apart and makes you unique? Is it that ability to bridge that gap and have those things come to fruition?
Exactly. We don't treat people as transactions. It's absolutely about community. And we love having an impact on local community. And our customers tell us the biggest reason they come back is we're just so stinking friendly. Our whole culture, they say, what do you guys drink here? What's in your coffee? Because we are just 100% positive. We're here to help you grow. We know how stressful it is having your own business. And so let us just take some of that stress off and really help you keep growing. So that's what we absolutely love about the job, and what I think makes us unique is just our friendly culture. Mhm.
Yeah, and that's absolutely huge. And I love, I say so often during the podcast that we forget about the human aspect of business and being able to kind of just, obviously, we all have businesses. There's, numbers we have to keep in line with and all those things and pay attention to. But sometimes we forget about, especially when we work with the business community, the stress that comes with that and being able to kind of provide that light when someone comes in the door or is looking for something goes a long way because it really builds those long-term relationships and creates that connection that lasts, forever.
Yeah, and as a new business owner myself, it's been so great to share not only just sign advice, but also, who they should do for this and that and how they should set up their company. Also, there's just you have a million questions, and they're still to this day is not a one-stop shop, one book, one podcast that will give you all the answers. So it's great to just as humans, hey, we're all in this together.
Yeah, and that's why I love that community piece that you mentioned because I think so many times in business and in entrepreneurship, you can kind of feel lonely, you can feel unprepared and not sure where to turn from. So to be able to have the ability to kind of lean into that community and hear all the expertise and advice that you guys have helps out so much.
Hmm. Hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I wanted to switch gears a little bit and I want to ask you for what I call a CEO hack. So this could be like an app, a book, or a habit that you have, but what's something that makes you more effective and efficient?
Yeah, I love it. And I want to say all of the above, right?
Exactly.
So really based on my faith as well as the Navy experience, it's been such a great experience for me growing up to just respect everyone, but it is all about the habit. And so I love the book called The Power of Habit, and I won't try to pronounce his name, but it's Charles D. something. And it just broke it down to you've got to just have these little baby steps and habits to end up in a good place. And then I had an old pastor kind of say the same thing, like you can't end up in a destination and then be surprised when every step you took got you there. So,
Right.
and if there's anybody, movie buff, or okay, some older people maybe listening, hopefully, but there's the what about Bob, right? And just
Mhm.
baby steps, baby steps. I think that's the biggest trick, the biggest hack, small baby
Yeah.
habits.
Yeah, I love that. And I think so many times we get so wrapped up in, as you said, the destination and what it takes to get there that we forget that I think I'm gonna probably butcher the quote, but I think the 1,000-mile journey begins with the small, simple steps and something along those lines. Sorry for whoever actually said that. But at the end of the day, just understanding like each of those details, I think in business or in life and how that aligns us and gets us to where we want to be is so important because we can kind of get lost in the sauce when we're running our businesses or living our lives that we forget about the habits that we create and how that creates our lives and our futures.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite is when people tell me about their dream, and you're like, okay, well, what are you doing to get there? And they're like, but it's a dream. Yeah, but I got to break that down.
Yeah. What is the saying? The quickest way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. When you have that
Exactly,
dream, that
exactly.
fruition, you got to break it down so that you can execute on it. So absolutely appreciate that. And so I want to ask you now for what I call a CEO nugget. So this could be a word of wisdom or a piece of advice. It might be something you would tell a client, or if you hopped into a time machine, you might tell your younger business self.
Yeah, I think the key word for me is flexibility. You absolutely just, you could be the best planner, the most OCD person, and it is just not going to go the way you planned. If you know that up front and stay flexible, then you can just ride the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, keep your cool. And I think that's the difference between a real leader is just keeping your cool and being flexible. You're able to pivot wherever the market tells you need to go, how you need to change your products or your delivery or remote workers or not remote workers, all of that. I think being flexible is just like the most important characteristic you have to have.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge, and it's so funny that you say that because I read a while ago that the symbol of kind of success and power is often kind of attributed to the rock because the rock is powerful, it can't move, but really it should be water,
Yeah.
because water is permeable, can go through anything if it has enough kind of speed, it can pick up rocks and move them. And I think as we're experiencing now that you have to be flexible. You have to be okay with change and make those adjustments in our businesses and our lives, or we might be not be where we ultimately hope to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love every water analogy being from the Navy, but
Yeah, there you go.
it is the most formidable element we have. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it makes up a good part of the world as well too, in our bodies as well. So that always helps. So I wanted to ask you now my absolute favorite question, which is the definition of what it means to be a CEO. And we're hoping to have different quote unquote CEOs on the show. So Marissa, what does being a CEO mean to you?
Yeah. Well, the most important thing to me is really just the responsibility that maybe being a firstborn, it's like something you just have. I want to take on the whole world and take care of everyone. So, really having that responsibility to my local community and helping all those business owners grow, just entrusting me is just a really big deal. But I think beyond that, it's really my employees being able to provide amazing jobs where everybody can learn and grow and just wherever they're at, helping them get to that next level, even if it's not with me. I just love watching people grow. And so I love the um, life experience that you get to walk through with people. I've had engagements and first babies and first mortgages, and it's just like such a privilege to be able to walk along with those people and being in that position of power to really, yeah, it's fine. We can do a remote work situation. Yeah, it's fine. We can, odd shift here and there. And it's just such a great feeling of accomplishment when somebody goes through these things and you were able to help them along the way.
Yeah, that's so huge. And I love that word that you use, privilege, because I think so many times we can get caught into the tasks and things that we're doing. But I think it was something along the lines I heard that it's not something you have to do, it's something you get to do. And I think when you start to change that perspective and understand that you get to see people grow, you get to play a big part in seeing things come to fruition, it's absolutely huge. And I love that analogy you kind of spoke to as well, too, as being, the firstborn. And I think so many times when we look at our businesses in a lot of the same ways where we're helping people and like we might help your siblings and help the family to be able to get to where they want to be and succeed whatever way they hope to, that's really something that we can kind of step into as business leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that people don't lose sight of that because there are enough other things to distract us. But at the end of the day, why are we here? It's to bring value to other people. And
Mhm.
you start with the people closest to you, I think, and go from there.
Yes, absolutely. And let it trickle down from there. So, Marissa, truly appreciate that definition. And I appreciate your time even more. What I wanted to do is just pass you the mic, so to speak, just to see if there's anything additional you can let our readers and listeners know. And of course, how best they can get a hold of you and find out about all the awesome things you and your team are working on.
Awesome. I just want to say to this community in particular, being a CEO is no joke. It is tough. It is really tough. But I just wouldn't trade it for the world. And I recommend anybody else who's willing to try, wants to try, do it. Jump in, use your support network and do it. Um, the impact on my family with my husband and my three kids. Two of them are teenagers and they just absolutely love going around town and seeing like the work that mom's done or the work that they've even helped produce. And it's just like confidence at such a deep level, being able to help the community in such a tangible way. And with the amazing customers that I've had, I mean, the reason why we've scaled so quickly is because everyone keeps coming back for more and giving us referrals to all their friends. So back to that privilege world, we're just so grateful to be part of that journey. And I'd love to help anybody else out there who's in the Northern Virginia area. I can be reached we're at Fast Signs of Springfield. We're right off Backlick Road, right by the Parkway, if you're familiar. And the best way is email 2251 at FASTSIGNS.com. Or, of course, just give us a call, 703-913-5300. and we just would love to help you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Truly appreciate that, Marissa. We will have the links and information in the show notes as well too, so that everybody can get a hold of you and come and visit as well too. But I truly appreciate, the impact that you talked about, and sometimes we can forget that we have on our family, on the work that we do, and how that comes to fruition in the community that we have. So I appreciate you for being a leader and doing that so well in this community. And I appreciate your time, of course. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Gresham. Thanks for the privilege.